here's another pardon from Trump. I saw this video today on Twitter, and I can't play it enough. Watch this.
I can't believe that more people aren't talking about this. This is a picture.
At first, I thought she was going to talk about her eyelashes.
No.
Why are more people talking about my Tammy Faye eyelashes? Come on, you're pretty enough. You don't need to do that. Anyway.
What is happening with those lashes?
I don't know. It's not a good look. But anyway.
I can't believe that more people aren't talking about this. This is a picture of Lawrence Duran and his wife. Together, they filed over 860,000 fraudulent Medicare claims to the tune of scamming our government over $200 million. Now, contrary to
$200 million, what is he getting? Dental implants? Come on.
Wow, that's like Tim Scott, Florida corruption.
Yep.
what Republicans tell you, most Medicare fraud is actually found and caught. These two were found, caught, sentenced to over 50 years.
So she says that most Medicare fraud is actually found and caught. It is caught, but then they still get to be senators like Tim Scott from Florida. Wow. He got caught defrauding Medicare, and then he became a senator. How does that happen?
It's like the biggest medical fraud ever.
Ever.
Scott,
ever.
Yeah.
The biggest medical fraud ever. So I think they fined the company, but he was the president of the company, and he got to become a senator. Okay, there you go.
Now, this is where the hypocrisy comes in. You see, earlier this year, Trump commuted the sentence of the Miami healthcare exec and set them both free. Yes, you heard that right. So while the GOP is lying to you, saying that undocumented immigrants are defrauding the government by receiving Medicaid and Medicare benefits, their leader is actually setting free convicted criminals who were found guilty of defrauding the government.
So we went from Doge to Doe. Doe, like Homer Simpson.
Doe.
For Medicare fraud.
So I actually looked into it. I was like, could that be true? Did Trump pardon a guy who did $200 million in Medicare fraud? Could that possibly be true? And here it is. This is from, I asked Grok. And Grok told me during his first presidency, Donald Trump granted pardons or commuted sentences to multiple individuals convicted of Medicare fraud, including high-profile cases involving hundreds of millions in fraudulent claims. These actions drew criticisms from anti-fraud advocates as they involved schemes that prosecutors said harmed vulnerable patients and cost taxpayers billions. Trump continued this pattern in his second term with additional clemency grants in 2025. Here are some examples. There's a guy named Philip S. Formes. In December 2020, Trump commuted his 20-year sentence for $1.3 billion in Medicare and Medicaid fraud scheme.
What?
$1.3 billion.
That's a lot. That's more than Sam Bankman-Fried, isn't it?
That's more than $900 million. I'll tell you that. That's 1,000 million plus 200 million more.
Oh, he must be very important in the cabal or something.
Wow. Yeah, he must be very important in the cabal. He was a nursing home operator. He was convicted in 2019 of routing unqualified patients through facilities for illegal kickbacks and false billing. 1.3 billion. So you know it was more than that. That's what they caught. The Department of Justice called it the largest healthcare fraud case it had prosecuted at the time, as Formes later faced new charges in 2023 for related fraud, but pleaded guilty to time served.
Wow. Nothing for the guy from the Fugees that he's the only one that got blamed for the Jolo Malaysian scam thing, and it was nowhere near this amount of money.
So the word fraud and the word friend are just one typo away. Just keep that in mind. Here's a guy named Lawrence Duran. In May 2025, Trump commuted his 50-year sentence from a 2011 conviction for a $205 million Medicare fraud scheme, the largest therapy-related Medicare scam in U.S. history at the time. Duran, owner of American Therapeutic Corp., billed the unneeded or non-existent group mental health sessions, pocketing $87 million. Co-conspirators like Judith Negron also received commutations in 2020. Wow. How often is some dishonest psychopath the one in charge of mental health somewhere? That's one way to hide it.
Going back a long way.
Yeah.
Since the start of mental health, probably.
John Eston Davis. Trump granted clemency in January 21 to Davis, former CEO of Comprehensive Pain Specialists, convicted of accepting $750,000 in kickbacks for billing Medicare $4.6 million in unnecessary durable medical equipment. The White House cited celebrity support and claimed no financial harm to victims, despite ongoing Department of Justice suits against Davis for larger frauds.
Celebrity support?
Well, you tell me what that means. Who's celebrity? Alec Baldwin? Is he going to give it a shot? Come on. So if you're in Trump's world and you're famous, you go free. Here's some other cases. Trump granted clemency to at least 10 healthcare executives and doctors in his first term for schemes totaling $1.6 billion in fraudulent Medicare Medicaid claims, including Sholem Weiss, an 835-year sentence for a $450 million fraud. Wow.
Well, I get that one. That makes sense, that one.
Oh, sure, that makes sense. Trump doesn't want the taxpayers to have to pay for his 835-year incarceration. He's trying to save us money.
That is your Doge, right?
Yeah. He's looking out for the taxpayers on this one. In total, across both terms, he granted clemency to at least 13 fraudsters, plus 68 people overall for fraud and related crimes. These decisions often bypassed standard pardon reviews and favored those with political or personal ties, according to analysis by groups like the National Healthcare Anti-Fraud Association and KFF Health News. Trump has since emphasized cracking down on Medicare fraud as part of spending cuts, but his record shows leniency toward white-collar offenders in the sector. And
remember the shocking Doge numbers of Medicare fraud?
Remember that? Yeah. And by the way, Doge was a complete scam. Complete scam. I know people still think it was real. It wasn't. Did they cut some money from USAID? Yes, but they then gave all that money plus $200 billion more to the people who are actually doing it, the people at the Pentagon and the CIA. So they just cut out the middleman. They cut out USAID, and they gave it right to the Pentagon. They didn't give it to the people who are doing it in the first place. And just remember, voter support for Medicare for All at an all-time high. 36 plus 29, that is 65%, right? 9 and 6 is 5, 3 and 2 is 5. 65% of Americans strongly support or somewhat support Medicare for All. 9% don't know. So
pretty good for a mind-controlled country. Also,
pretty good for a mind-controlled country. So
the copays are what made people understand something.
So
because people with insurance are getting screwed.
65% of Americans strongly or somewhat support Medicare for All. Only 4 and 2 is 6. Only 26% oppose it or strongly oppose it. That's quite shocking, isn't it? So support for it is 65%. Against it, 26%. That's a almost 40-point positive net swing in favor of Medicare for All. And if
people find out we pay for it for Israel and Ukraine and think, wait,
we pay for Medicare for All for Israel and Ukraine, just so you know.
It doesn't work, but we still pay for it for them.
And so when Trump says he wants to crack down on the system, he doesn't mean cracking down on the billionaire frauds. He means cracking down on us, not the elites who run the system. Come see me on tour in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Waikiki, Hawaii, and the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.